Is Tesla a car company? Is the first thing I read when I go back to check chat. This is not the Weight Watchers Anonymous stream I clicked on. Yo, what's up, Al? Yo, good stuff on your Tesla trade, dude. Oh, let me sit up. Yeah, good job on Tesla. That was very nice. That was very nice. Yeah, as you could see, I was definitely ready for today's market open. I was in there hours and hours and hours ahead of time. I was honestly just really ready for this chart more than anything. Coin. Because there's a really good possibility this is going to go to... Where am I clicking? Here we go. To 205 this week, which I already got a majority of the distance, so I'm not even complaining. But I'm not going to be shocked when that hits 205 or 210. And then SPY's the exact same seat. Sorry for all the junk here. Hold up. So, I mean, we don't really need these. There we go. Just kind of looking at that gap down. Kind of just focusing on that. Because, I mean, it was pretty easy to be like, oh, we're going to use that gap. But what if we don't go down? You know, you always got to have that in the back of your mind. What if we don't go down to the 50% to give us that bounce? You know, what if that scenario never happens? It's still good to draw that fib because you get good forward targets in case we do just, you know, keep launching off of short sellers. But also on the other end of that, if we do just keep going up, besides targets, you know, how do you use like a breakout, or how do you identify where you want to look for a breakout, and then that's again just pointing out that halfway point from that gap down from March 7th to March 10th. Yeah, in short, that was kind of the gist of the callouts for pretty much myself, Carter, and Kevo. We all gave pretty good, pretty clean callouts. I was watching some of the different contracts I even labeled too, and some of them didn't move at first on the first move up, but then when we called out these higher lows, they definitely did really well. And I believe that's that short seller effect you're seeing where we're probably not just going up on just straight up buyers. It's also people closing out shorts, which is causing more buying to go up. So that's good. But I think that's why we see that effect on that second move up instead of as much on the first, where it was a little slow paced. It's not so slow paced here on the 5-minute, but you go over here to the 1-minute, you'll see plenty of what I'm talking about. But it was really clean. I don't think at any moment today was there ever a moment where it was like, oh shit, it's about to fall. Like there were a couple, or actually, I take that back. There was one moment in today where it looked like it was going to be really bad once we opened. And it was because of course, Microsoft. And if you go to Apple, which I think Apple actually saved us a little bit, when they were rejecting, Apple actually tried to go up. So it actually helped us out a little bit on that XLK sector. Because you can see they are kind of just here. They're not really going up or down after the open. So the individual weights could throw off. But that's why it's good to kind of keep mind of looking back at the overall sectors. Because you'll see banks killed it. Discretionary's up. Healthcare's up as well. Which, as we all know, if healthcare's up at the same time as everything, it's probably a pretty bullish day. It's not, it's, you know, because we don't always need healthcare to go up, but some of the most bullish days we have that healthcare help. And then IWM, we went over SPY, Coin, and then IWM, kind of just pinpointing this area here, because if you go to the 5-day, 5-minute, that's where we struggled with a few days ago. So, as you can see, here, let me zoom back out, sorry. As you can see, we struggled with it once, and then we came back up, rejected it in an actual open market session a second time, so 1, 2, actually 1 right here. And then kind of seeing, do we get back up here and reject it again, or do we actually get back over this? And you can see they are actually trying to get over, but struggling. So even the small caps are having a little bit of slow pace right now. But yeah, that's kind of the overall gist of the reviews for SPY. At least the stuff that we covered in the chat. I was a little late to posting SPX for my premium guys because I was so focused on typing in trade floor, but the levels did work, so that's something. Alright, I saw y'all said the audio is low. Hopefully that fixes, because I just unplugged it all and replugged it all in again, and last 2 times that fixed, so hopefully it fixed again. I don't even really know the issue. I'm assuming my wire is going bad. Maybe I just need to order a new one, or maybe the mic sucks. I really don't know. The mic's actually pretty high quality. It has to be the wire. But yeah, this is like this has to be the second or third time this happened now. Was it still at least like, you could still at least somewhat hear what I was saying though, or it was completely like, oh fuck, I can't hear anything this guy's saying? Like, could you still somehow hear what I was saying? Because I was kind of like orchestrating to what I was looking at. Alright, well that fucking sucks. Because I just did like just did like a whole rant. Alright, well, we'll just continue. Pretty much just going over the callouts from chat. If you guys missed out, please review the chat. It's a lot of good stuff. I think I want to try this approach more where I'm kind of focused on chat and calling out more, and then I move into kind of streaming or posting a video or something. Because I really want to do more callouts for the chat. I'm really getting tired of the going over shit all the time. I really want to get into the action more, and it's really hard to focus on both at the same time. And I've yet to meet a person that can do both at the same time, so I'm going to keep with this approach, where I can actually make more money as well as go over the same stuff. It just won't be in the moment with you guys all the time. I'll be in the chat in the moment, so make sure you guys are looking in the Discord more. There's been a lot of really awesome callouts by the guys in chat, and it's honestly kind of crazy to me how much of that gets overlooked by some of you, because some of those same people who are overlooking those plays are the same people in my DMs going, I'm struggling, I'm losing money, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. It's like, you're not even paying attention to the people who are trying their ass off. And I understand you want to have your own approach, but that's just not how this works. I mean, if you want to go do your own thing, that's cool, but if you're going to be in here and then also complain, you need to focus on what people are posting. It's not like we have 1,000 people posting, am I wrong? It's the same 6-7 people posting plays every week. I mean, it's not rocket science. But I just want to see more activity with that. I want to see more of you do well and actually kill the market, not just be here and slowly fade away because you couldn't make any money. I think it'd be cool to see some of you kill it, not just making money, but making good trades that make sense to you. So I also want to have that approach where we're not just doing this handout, let me not think for myself kind of process. I want to have this process where we're actually thinking for ourselves and understanding what we're doing, you know? So I want to do these callouts with chat more like we did today. Kevo, Carter, really big call out to them because they did really, really good job again. And I'll try my best to post super precise updates as I'm going along. No, you're good. Yeah, you're good, man. I'm honestly, when I talk, I'm not even reading YouTube chat, because if I read it, I will not finish what I'm trying to talk about. So I try to finish and then I move along. I can't do both at once because I'm also trying to look at my like watch list spam on my left side here. But no, you're good, man. Spam as much as you want. I don't see it as that way. So what you're saying is you're trying to copy me on the trade floor. Gotcha. No, I want to bring more energy to the people who are trying hard. You know, it's like, I don't, like when I call out stuff and Kevo's calling out stuff, I don't think me and him have ever had a moment where it's like, well, I'm going to quit talking because he's doing it already. Like, why? You shouldn't think that way. Like, me and him have never done that once. Me and Leland have never done that once. Like, I'm never going to be like, oh, React's already posting that, I'm just going to shut up. Like, no, post it as well and engage. Join the discussion. It doesn't matter if you type the same damn thing someone just typed. Send it. Reinforce that info. You're not annoying or being weird by doing that. You're being weird by even thinking like that, honestly. So, get out of that weird mind space. Get out of that. And join the discussion. There's tons of people in chat who are killing it, and it's really awesome. But there's also our fair share of people who are struggling, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it doesn't exist. because I don't want to see that. If there's going to be any struggle, it should be like actual struggle. Like, oh, fuck. I know what I did wrong. I messed up on that trade. Like, oh, okay, damn. Like, that's not even a real struggle. That's just like, oh, okay. I know what I did wrong. I'm going to move on. I'm going to learn from that. Bam. You know, but then there's people who just bog down. And I don't want anybody to bog down where they get into this rut of just continuous, not even losing, just don't even know where you're going. Don't even know where you're supposed to be looking or looking at. So I want to keep that going. But yeah, I really want to try that out in case you did miss. I really want to try that out there where we're just super active in the Discord and then I start up the stream it after we're all done. Because to be honest, you should be trading with your scalps in the first like hour and a half if you're going to do the morning session. And if you're going to do this from like lunchtime to the end of the day, like if you're in those 2 windows of the day, you really need to be a little bit more cautious. You need to take into context on what happened in the first hour and a half. That's that first window of the day. And then kind of piecing it in together and what you might be doing in that second or third part of the day, if that makes sense. And if you have no idea what I'm saying at all, just ask. But the 3 phases of the day, that is genuinely helpful. It's not even just like theory crafting. It's genuinely just logic. It's logical. Feels logical too. And I think that's just mostly what trading should feel like. It should feel like it's kind of just like knowing what to do next, even if you're wrong. Damn, I'm gonna have to figure out what kind of chord this is. I can't believe that happened again. I was like, they're trolling me. And then I saw it a second time, like, okay, they're not trolling me. So guys, here on Spy, if you're just tuning in, we're just kind of watching this. I was just going over the stuff that happened in chat, but we should actually look at some of the stuff that happened in chat. Speak English, dude. Jesus, I checked chat. This is happening. What did I miss? Okay, so we'll awkwardly scroll past the shorts. Oh, it's the Tesla shorts. I see. Are we still having the what is Tesla conversation? I momentarily passed out. What happened? Where are we? Okay, let's just go where everything is like neatly kept together. Okay, so right here. I'll try to keep the plans a little bit more precise like this, where it's actually like, because I know sometimes I speak my mind and then there's like a paragraph of shit. It's like, wait, where am I buying calls at? So I'll try to keep it a little bit more slimmed down, not as informational, but more just straight to the point. Where it's, I mean, it's still informational, but you know what I mean. Not as much slack, I guess. But here it is, like, you know, just initial context. Initial direction is up, yes, but keep watching higher lows for follow through towards 573.70s. Which, if you look at the chart now, that's the next level. Hold up, Jesus. Oh, I'm on the wrong chart. Sorry. There we are. 573.70s. I was like, where'd it go? And maybe even 576s. Again, I only really point that out because, like, you know, those days where we have like a up 3% day. So sometimes I'm pointing that out because it's just like to note to you, hey, this is the next level that we give a shit about. So just kind of keep that in mind if we are having one of those 3% days and you already took your profits and you're just kind of like, wow, how far is this going? That's kind of what it's for. I don't know if I'd ever be like, yeah, bro, buy calls here, sell some here, sell some here. Like, that's not ideal when we literally opened up most of this move. So not ideal in today's context. And again, that's kind of what I was talking about. If you're going to trade like the second or third part of the day, you got to take that context into account, or you're just going to make mistakes that seem really stupid in the hindsight side of things. But in the moment, you're going to be like, what the hell? So I keep getting the market makers just screwing me, or, you know, just some random thought in your head. What's up, Carter? Good to see you, man. I was giving you a little bit of praise in the beginning. And then we reviewed Spy, SPX, just a bunch of stuff. Now I'm just kind of talking about whatever. Or actually, we're still reviewing Spy because I don't even know if my volume went through. And then I kind of point out some cons, and I'm looking at these. I'm mainly looking at these for like a same-day scalp perspective or same-week scalp perspective. But you definitely should not be doing what's posted here if you're in the second or third part of the day. Like I said, use that context. But this is for the morning scalpers, anybody who's here from like open to about like 10. Pretty much the first 90 minutes of the day is what I'm talking about here in this post. And then also not ignoring, it's easy to be like, oh, we're going to go up. We gapped up. It's also really hard to talk about, well, what if it goes wrong? So it's good to point that out, the needed evil in case it does go wrong. And pointing out basic stuff, just rejections and lower highs for a pullback towards 568s, and then pointing out the con. And then again, kind of pointing out big focuses around the current day open. We have surrounding targets, and then just kind of understanding the whole process of like, it might not go up super fast like a skyrocket. We might have this weird grind update, and it's not so weird. It's, again, because of, like I said earlier, there's a lot of people that were still shorting into the weekend and maybe even at open today. At any moment when we went up today, because of how many weeks we've been going down, you're still going to have those people who are just dumping it into shorts just on every green move thinking it's the end of the world. And it might be, who knows? But every single move, it's just not going to work. So I think we're getting just one of those good up, slow-paced days. Not really slow. It's an all right pace. But definitely getting help from those short sellers. Again, as they exit their positions, it provides liquidity for upside. So that's why I'm saying it like that. A little weird to hear it that way when you say the down is helping the up. The people who want it to go down are helping it go up. But yeah, how was everyone in stream there? How are you guys? How was your first beginning of the day? Any thoughts on the whole, and anything I've said, really? I'll try to get through a different chart here in a second. I was also eyeing Meta from last week with the premium guys. Because Sinful has been insane with the 90% trades lately. I mean, every time he brings it up, it works. So I thought I'd take his advice and actually watch it this time, and it actually did it again. Every time he says, I think it's doing the thing, and then I go look and it's doing the thing, it does this. Or the other way around, where he's looking for it to go down. But very, very nice seeing that liquidity grab. And not really a liquidity grab in the national sense of like how we always look at it and like, oh, it holds, it breaks, and then it held. Like, it also did this on the, 5-day, 5-minute. You could see they kind of like broke that area, took it, never broke it again. Massive spike from there. Once they came back down, they held that same low again. This is funny because it's like, it's making people think like, oh shit, is this actually bullish? And then it's like, nah, just kidding. And then this is really what confirms, yes, it is bullish. The fact that it's holding this shit still. It's still holding the same lows, the same zone, the same 575, same 580s. And then, funny enough, kind of using this as like an impulse move of it retaking that low. Look where it's holding and jumping from today, and just kind of funny. But yeah, just another cool 90% post by Sinful. Then you got a bunch of AMD enthusiasts in chat, which I don't even blame you guys, honestly. It was a little crazy seeing it below 100, I'll be honest. But they're also kind of experiencing what I just talked about, the whole loss, retake of a very important area. They also kind of have like this rounding move to it. So, I don't know, it's a pretty strong recovery. I feel like if you're someone who was an AMD and you were kind of just like grinding your teeth holding your shares, you should be pretty happy that you're still in, because I mean, we might not be over, but you might have seen the worst for a while, so who knows. It's kind of funny seeing those people in chat. I not even just the AMD guys. It's funny watching someone who actually supports the company they're invested in, and then like they're fighting through it, and they're like, I'm gonna keep holding, and then you see it them finally have a great euphoric day, and you're just like, yeah, man, I'm happy for that guy. That's what it is to be like to be friends with someone of AMD today. Anyone who knows anybody who's in AMD, you're hearing about it today. I mean, honestly, anything today, but AMD especially. It is insane how much they have fallen. Got my move so far, going to watch for now. Yeah, same here, man. Totally fine. That's kind of what I got on here for, because I don't really want to trade anymore. Did my damage, don't need to do anymore. We talked about this in the past, and we're even seeing like some of the better traders in chat actually do this, but just not trading every day, not being here all the time. Like, I think some people come back and they're like, "Yo, I'm sorry I wasn't here," and we're just like, "Dude, it's totally fine." I would be kind of mad if you were here all the time, because then I'd be like, "What are you doing? You're gonna go crazy." So actively learning, actively trading doesn't matter. You should definitely not be here every day. Might be weird hearing that. And yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know how long I'm going to do this, but I wanted to at least do a little stream so we could go over what important things happen in chat and what everyone should be focused on. Like, honestly, you guys should be, honestly, you could have notifications off for the entire server, but if you have access to extra levels or levels, you need to have them on, because these are the two channels I do not spam. I do not over spam them. I post pretty much the same, around the same times. I know sometimes I post a little too early, but I never post too late, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I'm always pretty much early or too early on what times my posts come out for, like, updates or plans. But if something's ever too early or something moves, like, it's something I could do, I have to re-update it, or you guys are just left out to dry. So it's like, what the hell? But yeah, just, again, make sure you're looking out for this. I would say if you guys had to make sure you're looking at a backup channel besides one of those two, it would definitely be the trade floor, just because there is an insane amount of, I mean, there's also this too, there's some fun laughs, but there's an insane amount of just awesome updates by not just me, but there are tons of people in here who are literally calling out, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this dip," and then I could literally be right here going, that higher low, like, I mean, you're getting just like amazing updates. It's just like, it's short-term stuff to keep you in, reinforcement if anything, but we're not gonna hold your damn hands. You got to do that stuff on your own. Get in your own trades on your own. You want to follow some people, awesome. You want to work with people, awesome. But yeah, but don't just sit there and let your emotions on your run your trading, you know. And like I said, again, reiterating it, do not be here every day. Don't. Is it also a monthly level for real? Wait, React, that level on Spy is also a monthly level? That's crazy. That's not even why I drew it. Yo, good morning, Ace Ventura. How are you doing? Hi, darn. We did some trading this morning in the Discord. Now we're just chilling here on stream, going over some stuff, looking at stuff, talking about stuff. You know, just stuff. Oh, and I did want to show off Carter and Kevo. We'll get to Carter's first, and then we'll go to Kevo. Here's Carter. And and it's funny because, like, I'm posting a completely different, not a completely different, but like a more passive plan. And it's funny because I go back here and, like, he's calling out an outside bar that was happening. It was on like the, no, was it on the 1 or the 5 minute when you said that? I couldn't remember because it was somewhere up here. You were calling an outside bar. It was popping up, and then he posted that, and then he said 40% entry off pre-market high breakout. It's like, oh shit, okay, he just went for an open range breakout. Got 35%, like, amazing. And then you got Kevo jumping in after, kind of calling out there was a doji. And I think I even was talking about, like, careful, there could be a slowdown, and then we were like, watch for the higher low. Where the hell did I say that at? Oh, here it is. Watch for higher lows here, guys. Kevo, good eye. Because, again, like, kind of just reiterating that point. If it holds here, we're in. Like, why would you not be thinking that, you know? And we don't know ahead of time that it's not going to move super fast on this move or this move. Like, there's going to be some up and down, but it was just nice to at least get that directional sense of, like, okay, we're definitely up, and we probably are still going to go up more, even though for a second there it looked like we weren't. It's kind of like what we went over. And then a bunch of awesome AMD posts. Pretty cool stuff in here. Some good results and reviews by the guys already. D-Touch especially. Entry was after the hold of the current day open. Not a bad candle too, not a bad look. Kind of sucks he got this move after, but that's really nice strength by D-Touch to hold, even though it dropped a little bit again. But it held CDO again, so no real reason to cut yet. So nice job trusting his trade idea. and then sold into the strength, meaning as it was making new highs, getting out of that trade, not as the candle's closing and there's a red candle forming, he's exiting. No, that's not exiting into strength. Exiting into strength is as the candle is still going. But good stuff. And of course, I'll pull this back up because I know I see Carter typing right now. I just always instantly add reactions when I see its username. Held that puppy like a king. Oh, okay, and then also reiterating off of his point too. Off of the OB, he marked a fib and he got a golden pocket of it. Got his breakout. Damn nice. AMD at resistance, but what a thing we could see, or if we could see SR flip this range today. Oh, at 113, so that would be nuts. And I like how he's kind of just keeping it clean. He's got his primary trend lines. He's got his secondary trend lines here. I think one of my oldest videos is me going over, like, basic trend. Like, this is the logical way to use trend lines, is how he's doing it right here. He's not like, oh, bear flag, opening wedge, this, that. Like, he's actually just kind of looking at it and formulating. And then he's also kind of using levels to kind of help, you know, kind of set boundaries for he's going to be looking at it. For, let me buy this here, let me sell it here. Or just for directional sense, like he is here. Because that would be crazy. Good update by Ryaku. And yeah, pretty much hitting the main target that I had set for today. And that was a really good idea to have that set. But again, just kind of tying all of this again to how basic it all was. Again, giving all the credit to just some of the techniques Leland has showed me over the time. And even if they were all right in front of our faces, I don't think I ever would have stumbled upon using them in such a simple way. But it's crazy how simple is, most of the time, way more effective than anything else. I think we're in a market where too many people are thinking way too deep. You're regretting not leaving a runner on NVIDIA. Hey, don't regret it. Review it. Reconstruct it. And force some sort of anything to push you into doing that next time. Or just reviewing one thing you might have missed and you'd be like, hey, I'll do this next time. And if you're just contract locked, John G, there's nothing you can do about that. You just need more time, but... Actually, let me check out a video. What'd they do today? I'm sure they're up, of course. And yeah, nice. Wow, they actually got a really clean hold. And this is actually what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about with that meta chart, if you guys were paying attention a few moments ago. From what Sinful was bringing up with meta, that whole, when I say the thing, it's that 90% entry liquidity grab. You can see it here actually on the current day open of NVIDIA. They lost it, right? I mean, yeah, they held the next level. I mean, I'm not trying to use this as an example because, of course, not all of us are going to have every level set for NVIDIA every time we're on it. But just regardless, losing it, retaking it the very next candle, and then what is the impulse move? You know, that's like the top of, like, the first buyer move up. So you really could see it as, like, that first, legit, the first candle of the day on the 5-minute. And look where they decided to push up and then build their higher low, another indecisive candle, another high, another high, another high, another high, another higher close, I should say. But just really nice moves there. I bet if I go to the 1 minute, it's a lot cleaner. You'll actually physically see the higher lows as well. Whereas on the 5 minutes, a little bit more spread out. Really nice, though. And yeah, if you did get your trades in, make sure to post your reviews as well. Oh, there's our little troll. He's not going to see all my messages because he doesn't scroll up, but he'd be so proud if he saw the morning messages by me. 40% entry on break a pre-market high, exit into strength. Just a note for the future. Oh, just a note for the future. Then got back. I don't know why I thought that was like a continued sentence. Then got back in on the retest and got out into the new high of day, sold into strength. Straight from levels and just the process, set the parameters. Let's see. Damn it. Yeah, and honestly, when you were on, I'm not going to scroll up again, but when you were in the trade floor, I could see how, like, just, like, focused and calm you were. You were just, like, straight to the point. This is what this is what that is, this is what I'm doing. And that was it. There was no need to even think or talk about anything else. So good shit. Also, really cool too, because it was a 40% entry on a day we gapped up on. It's like, damn. Like, I feel like normally a lot of us would at first be scared of those kinds of trades, but the more you get to understand what you're doing, the more you take your risk as you see fit, you know? So you probably didn't feel any, as crazy risk as we might have felt before when we weren't as educated on what the hell we're even doing. So really just proud of your progress. Wait, what? Oh. I always get confused because I see his name, we're the same color basically. Well, at least on my screen we are. That threw me off. Oh yeah, dude. I knew he has to be proud because all I did was like I went to the other chart that we'd all been doing already. Whoops, I'm on the wrong chart entirely. And it's literally called Leland. The chart is literally called Leland. And I had it set like this. It's been set like this. I posted it like this for weeks now. I have not changed anything. We've even talked about this helping us kind of get that early feel on potential reversal because we hit both fib extension targets on that way down. But kind of looking over to that far left side though, keeping it simple, going from the open of this day to the close of this day, because this is technically a gap down. This is basically a bearish kicker just about. If you take the fib extensions off, because we could keep those on, but I just, for example's sake, it's really clean. And kind of using that to give us directional value of like, are we going to go up more or not, or are we going to reject here? First 10 minutes of the day answered our question. Now, the following 10, 20, 30 minutes definitely was a little rough, but I would definitely say kind of towards the end of Carter's trade when he sold into strength, and then kind of where me and Kevo started continuously updating again on what's possibly happening. Definitely seeing the bullish bias in our Discord. So if you were just paying attention, even though it was a little bit rough, and at Microsoft and Apple, that's what you get when you say Microsoft and Apple at the same time. Apparently, you get Michael. I don't know how I spit that one out, but yeah, just nice reinforcement updates from the chat. I wouldn't say it was like any bias. It was just obvious callouts. I only scrolled up because you said I wouldn't. Clean watch list. Wow. Shut up. Yeah, I made sure I named it Leland because, like, the difference between... there is no difference between what me and Leland are looking at. The only difference is that, like... I'm on the wrong chart. Is that my chart... that's the wrong chart, too. Okay, well, I don't have a chart for me today. My chart normally will have way more levels on it, but the only difference is that, like... I would say I'm not as clouded by it, right? Like, that doesn't affect me. Some people that might cloud, though. So if you are, like, clouded by looking at too many things, I would approach it the naked, the Leland way is what I always call it, just the Leland chart. Because you're really just focused on, like, okay, here's my zones. Like, he posted these two. I didn't even chart those myself. The drawdown fib, the gap down fib, just using the fib extensions for, like, whether it's for forward targets or for means of reversal later on. It's amazing how pivotal these just super simple levels can be. And then even zooming from the daily all the way down to the 5 and 1 minute, it's crazy how well they can be used for not just like, let me get some calls. It's just like, yeah, it's nice to know where are we going up still or not. Sometimes it's nice to know that maybe you're in something else that's connected to SPY. It's nice to look back at this and be like, oh, okay, well, it's getting a little ugly here, but it's trying to hold. Okay, it held. It's getting risky again. It held again. So, I mean, I think once we saw this, it took the ease off a little bit, and then once we saw this, it was like, okay, GG. We're definitely not going down again. If we do, it won't be till lunchtime or end of day. So that definitely kind of screamed out, hey, we're definitely going up still. And then kind of tying in the other chart to give me my targets, because it's the same levels. As you can see, this didn't even move. Just kind of getting extra targets to kind of give myself that more precise view outside of just like entry and exit, or just entry, but also helping me on the exit, or just knowing where highs and lows can be made. It's not even just like for taking a trade. It's just, like I said, sometimes it's nice to know what the hell's going on. Yeah, so that's the only difference. I mean, there is no real difference between what we look at. It's just, like, his breakout levels are almost always the same as mine. It's just, I have way more shit going on my screen. So if you're someone who's a little more clouded, it is definitely nice to sometimes just kind of peel back and look at just the most important stuff, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The highest priority stuff. Your halfway points, your current day opens, and then your bigger time frame fibs like I just went over. But there should be no difference though between what you're actually pointing out as like a priority level of like, oh, this is going to tell me that I'm more bullish than I was earlier, or oh, this is telling me that we're slowing down or that we're bearish, But pretty much every level is going to give you some sort of information, but you'll definitely see there's some that give you way more context. Sometimes it's as simple as going out to the daily and be like, oh, we gapped down here. Let me draw that fib. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And yeah, always shout out to Leland. Really cool that he showed us that kind of stuff. Because, like I said, even though it was right in front of our faces, it was still nice to kind of go over and actually take advantage of. Not, just, oh, it's cool info, dude. Cool stuff, man. Like, actually profiting from it. Actually taking trades from it. Doing something with it. Not just talking. Actually doing. Great info on the trade floor. My bad, Keith. I am so slow on these messages. Help me see an opportunity on Tesla up nicely today. I'd love to hear that. And good for you, man. And that's how you should be treating it. Maybe you're already looking at it. Somebody mentions it. Cool. Take advantage. It should just be reinforcement, not what puts it on your plate, Where did Tesla... I saw Tesla from chat. Because you guys were all posting it. I stopped looking when it made this high, though. I'll be honest. I haven't seen it since it hit 269, basically. Excuse me. So, I'm about $5 off. It looks like it's still just barely teetering under that high as well, which I'm on the wrong chart. This is just the one I was sending in chat earlier to show kind of what we looked at before. A lot of people always like to look at some of the charts I post when we have really big drawdown moves or big up moves, because honestly, some of these zones are pretty scary accurate. And you can see here, and I drew this while we were still falling, because I just wanted to see where would we stop at. We actually stopped at ding 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 this gap up fib on this bullish kicker from this earnings. But it's kind of funny that we don't use it for about, what is that, 5 months, 5.5, maybe less than 5.5. Yeah, about 5. That's crazy. All that time. And just to come down and do a liquidity grab, a hold, a breakout. And we really don't even have a true breakout. We're just saying that because we're over, again, what we call an impulse move. We're just over an area that we went up and stopped at the first time we made our low. And then we made a higher low. We held that recent low. Gone up. Now it's deciding time. Do we keep going up on this momentum? Is this where it stops? Is this where it needs to kind of range? Which, in my opinion, just in general, from a long-term point of view, you probably do want to see more range trading on it. For a short-term trader point of view, if we do just get more continuous upside, just, again, make sure to kind of point out those fibs we talked about. There's another one right there, right above its head, which actually, let me Control-Z that and mark that, because I almost bet that's where today's high is going to end up at, which actually, I don't have to mark anything. It's the low of that candle. That would be funny if that actually smacked that. One more high, smack it, and that's high of day and a good rejection for second and third window of the day. Or it just shoots up to 300. What do I know? What's up, Lag to Death? Good to see you, man. Capital Well. I told you, man, I was posting updates in chat. I didn't have time to click the stream button, man. I was trying to trade. I was trying to call out. There was other people trying to call out in chat. I think I'm going to do that, though, for a little bit. I want to try to do that where we're kind of more focused in chat and trading actively. And then we'll come in here and do some reviewing or some discussing or just kind of roasting each other or none of that. Maybe we'll do none of that. We'll just sit here and stare at a blank chart. Had me overstimmed. I only have 2 monitors. Jesus Christ. That's insane. How was everyone's weekend, though?